Think? Think? You think.
I think so.
You think. Therefore, you know. Right? Is that how it goes? You think. Therefore, you know. Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. In today's video for Sew Sunday, we're going to finish our half log cabin, which is on the wall. I got all my parts and pieces made. I got it laid up on the wall. Mostly the rest of it's sitting over there, and I'm pretty sure I know which goes where. But, you know, I could forget. You never know. Anywho-ha. It just didn't all fit on the wall, and it won't when it's done either. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm just waiting for the chat to load, which it has not. If I just like restart it, maybe it will. Aha! Smart thinking, Tiffany. Let's see. Anne, Norma, Catherine, Lillamore, Kim, Tracy, Norma, Karen, Eve, Diane, LXY, Mignonette, Margot, Vicky, Jacqueline, so many more. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. So, last week we made the blocks. I shall grab this block from over here so that you can see. Here's our half log cabin. Here's the one started with a solid, then it had the print, and then it had the solid, and then it had the print, and the second block we made was print, then solid, then print, then solid. Then I put them together in opposites like this, and now they're laid out on the wall because every other one is opposite, and it's time to put them all together, which is going to take a while because this thing is huge. Well, not that huge. I think it's going to be 80 by 96 or something like that. So I need to situate real quick over here. That can go like that, and that can go like that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started putting the rows together. And we'll sit and chat, and if you have questions, you know, just say something. They are big blocks. Oh, yeah, they are in total 16.5-inch blocks. So lots and lots of seams. Lots of seams. So it'll just be an up and down, up and down, up and down to put this together. But that's okay. And to keep conversation going, remember you can ask questions at any time.
I like big blocks and I cannot.
I like big blocks, and yeah.
I like big blocks and I cannot. That song's in my head.
All right. Since this is a big project, I'm going to just go ahead and wood finger press, because there's still a bunch of stuff on the ironing board at this moment, which is in a specific order. So I'm not going to undo that order just to, you know, do this. So hopefully everybody's doing fine. I feel pretty normal today, except for some hip pain from the most uncomfortablest chairs in the whole wide world at my church. But that's about it.
It's any chair you
Any
sit
chair I sit in, obviously, but I got aggravated. But that's okay. I will live. All right. Finger to press. This whole row I'm pressing to the right, and then the next row I'll press to the left, and so on and so forth. No, because I can't. No ironing right now because I can't really do anything until the blocks are off of the. Until the blocks aren't there. Whew, words. till the blocks are ready to be ironed, you know, whatever. Till the rows are ready. That's what I'm going to say. Have I tried what? A Martelli chair? No. I don't even know where I could sit on one. I don't know anybody that has one. All right, I need to grab off the ironing board this piece. Come out nicely. Oh, I made a total of 5 by 6, 42 blocks. No, 40. What did I make? 5
30.
across, 30 blocks. Yeah, because I did 5 across, 6 down. Okay. The 6th row doesn't even fit on the wall. It's over on the ironing board. And so are the 5th part of the first through all the rows. All right, slide it over. Finger press. Hopefully those that were doing this got to this next step. You don't have to make as many blocks as I did, though.
Have you tried a chair from Stressless?
Nope, have not tried any other chair that you can't well, can't say that because I've sat in my friend Becca's chairs. Some are from Flexi Spot, some were from the little fabric, usually sewing themed chairs. I forgot the name of them already. If someone said it, I'd know it. Anything that's over at Staples, because there was like 100 chairs there, and I've sat in them all for a good time for the ones that were half comfortable, and for a longer time for the ones that were comfortable, just to see the difference between the comfort. We've spent lots of time at Staples. I have sat at most of the Walmart ones, except this time, the last time I went to sit in chairs at Walmart, they were up on a shelf and tied down. How are you supposed to like a chair if you can't even sit on it? What's the point of buying it? Walmart needs to do better and put them on the floor, even if they're tied down there. But yeah, so that's what I've sat in. Lots of different chairs. Oh, I sat in a bungee chair at one of the quilt shows. A lady here had a bungee chair, and I sat in that. Did not like that whatsoever. All right. Drink. I've made bowl cozies, not drink cozies, because I don't have a drink that I need cozy. I don't drink soda or tea or coffee or anything that I would need it for. So.
You ever sat in a Bernina chair?
Nope. Unless it's any of the chairs I've sat at when I went to quilt shops. But I don't remember the name brands of them all. And if I sat in them, it was only for a second, and then I was uncomfortable and got up and, moved on. All right, this one I'm going to press to the left. That way, when I do put the rows together, everything will nest just fine. Yeah, so in reality, I just thought about this. It's 10 half log cabin blocks across by 12 up and down, just in case you were curious, because I turned the half blocks into whole blocks, but you can arrange them however you want. I just thought about that right now. Wow, those seams are nowhere even close to each other. How did that one happen? Oh, well. I never said it was going to be perfect.
There's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5-inch strips is what they were. So there's 2.5 by 2.5, 2.5 by 4.5, 2.5 by 6.5, and 2.5 by 8.5. They make 8.5-inch half blocks. It's in the description of the video what sizes that I used. Slipping and sliding on this floor. Even barefoot with socks on, it's worse. It's like I'm ice skating on this little thing. I'm on it barefoot today, and I'm still slipping and sliding. It's better than the last one though. That cracked under my feet and poked my toes and stuff all the time.
So yeah, you can't complain.
Nope, can't complain. Now I got that song stuck in my head. L is for the way you look tonight. Oh, it's for the only one I like. V is very, very extraordinary. I forgot the words to that part, but that's okay because I will stop singing. I'm just kidding. We were watching the movie If. If. You know, the Imaginary Friends movie with Ryan Reynolds, you know, my future ex-husband.
But this pattern work for a 2 or 3 color quilt?
This would work for a 2 or 3 colored quilt, yes. You could totally just do it a 2-color quilt, black and white. Have black, white, and then have the other one go white, black, white, black. That would create a cool illusion looking thing. You can do whatever you want. It's your quilt. I'm doing what I want by making it huge. So huge that it doesn't fit on the wall. But I realized I don't have very many queen sizes available when I sell my quilts. So, you know, got to add more to the queen size quilts. Because we're all queens and we need a big quilt. To keep myself from messing anything up, I'm going to actually put these 2 rows together. Even though it's only finger pressed for now, I'm going to put these 2 rows together. And kind of just keep adding the rows each time. So literally going to put that one on top of that one. And then I'll press that whole seam with my finger presser as well. Why? Because I can. Ooh, there's a lot of seams to nest up on here. Oh, come on. There we go.
You're almost done already.
Not really. Got a long ways to go of this whole seam, no seam thing. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Some of these I pieced backwards, you know, because I was not paying attention. So some have like a straight next to a straight, like right here, and it's not supposed to be. There was supposed to be a seam, but it doesn't matter how you do this because it actually looks really cool all just mixed up, especially if it's scrappy like I did. Like could have just made each one its own color, so I could have had this all the yellow background and this one have it all blue background. You know what I mean? I could have made it equal also and still just did scrappy for the rest. But I didn't because I just did whatever I wanted to do. And it makes it all the more better. And I broke thread. How in the world did that happen? Not the bobbin. Where did it break? Oh, it's stuck. Okay. Rethread the whole thing. That's weird. Every now and then, that happens too. Other than my always unthreading the machine, sometimes the thread breaks. And or gets tangled because it just gets tangled.
Like you when it's on live.
It doesn't like me when I'm on live. Nope, it does not. I sew all this together with no problems, and then I go to be on live stream to show you how to put it together, and guess what? The thread just doesn't want to be in the machine. It also could just be tired of the fact that I sew really fast all the time. I need what a specialty thread called speed thread, meant for going fast. All right, it doesn't really matter which way I press this seam. As long as I remember my dog right here, I have a Tula dog. It's a little Rottweiler. As long as he is in the top corner, I know where my top of my quilt is. Not that this is directional or anything, because Scott noticed that some of the stuff is upside down. It's just a heart beating upside down. Well, there's bears up here, but those are not directional either. They're going different directions too.
Bears are allowed to be.
Any direction.
I guess that's legal then if they're upside down.
And right side up.
They're allowed to be.
You got the part that says read and it's supposed to say read 'em and weep. That's what the card fabric says on it.
You got Sheldon over here in the corner.
You got Sheldon in the corner, yep. Got some Big Bang Theory up in here. I never even watched the show, but yet it's on my fabric that I have in my scraps. Yeah, my seams are not matching here, like whatsoever. Some of them just ended up bigger than the others. I don't know. As long as the whole quilt is square, that's all that matters. It'll be square. And if it's not, I'll make it square. All right, 2 rows down. 4 more to go. Okay. I got some monkeys right here. They're right side up like they're supposed to be. Got some butterflies in this one. I just love all the different scraps, you know? There's a couple repeats in here, and that's probably because I wasn't paying attention, but honestly, you really have to look to find them. So there's like hundreds of different scraps in here. I like when I can say that. I love making scrap quilts that have as many different scraps as possible. All right, this one I'm going to press towards the right again. Oh, E is for everything that I adore. That's what the E was for.
Oh,
It just came to me right now. That's why I stopped and said I didn't know what that part was.
Well, I was probably reading.
You know how that just pops in randomly in your head? You guys get it too, right? You go to say something, you forget the word, you improvise with a different word, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later go by and you just randomly blurt out the word you were looking for. I do that all the time.
You need to put a Waldo in it. Waldo?
Oh, yeah, I don't have any Where's Waldo fabric, or else I would have. So we'll just play Where's Sheldon. Oh, did I run out of No, the thread broke again. What the world is happening here? I know you're not supposed to pull it out that way, but I'm going to rethread completely. I might need a new needle too. I haven't changed my needle in a while. How about we do that? Right here during the live. If it breaks more than once, it could be a little nick in the needle, you know? And if you're curious, I use 9014 organ needles, the titanium ones on this machine, on the Juki. I think Superior Threads. I think all companies sell these. They just don't sell the 100 pack like we buy. They sell them by little packs. Needle can just. So that the needle doesn't poke everything. Sometimes I weave it into paper like this. See? And then throw it in the trash. So that it doesn't poke when I go to reach for something I dropped in the trash. Yeah. Oh, come on. Get in there, you dumb thing. Only goes in one way. All right, now let's fully rethread and hope that it doesn't happen again. This is the part that takes me forever because my fingers are just not quite easy to get in all these loops. All right, let's see if that helped. Okay. Finger press to the right. Let's see, the dress is sideways and the shoes.
I didn't even notice that was a dress and shoes. Since it was sideways, to be honest, I thought it was something else. I was wondering what the heck it was.
Technically, it's underwear. It's old style underwear.
Undergown?
Undergarment, yes, for women to wear under their dresses. I'll just say underwear. Oh, well, it sewed that seam and didn't break. Can't jinx it yet, though. Gotta shut my face.
Pantaloons? Slips? I think it's a
Slip. Well, no. A regular slip is mostly like a silky garment. The other kinds are, that one's more style of the underwear that they wore under the big poofy dresses back in the day. Yeah. Someone coming to say hi.
Mama's doing it right.
Mama's doing it correctly, I think. What do you think? It's nice and colorful, isn't it? Yes. And you'll never lay on it because you don't like quilts. We put them to the test. I threw a client quilt on the floor in the living room and just left it there. Guess what? He walked around it and just laid down on the floor. Then when I went to move it again before loading it on the long arm after measuring the, the backing length straight, he got up, walked around it again, and then he did the same thing the next day when I quilted one of my quilts. He just laid right next to it, but the wind was blowing the tip up, not the wind, but the fan in the living room, so it was blowing the tip up like this, and he just puts his paw on it to hold it down for me. He's so weird. He does not like quilts. He can care less. He just wants to be around me when I quilt them in the living room because he likes to lay at my feet. He likes the vibrations or sounds from the music I listen to. Scott always says it's too loud, but Thumper will lay right next to the speaker when it's loud. He's not going to go deaf. He loves it. He loves to listen to rock with Mom. 90s alternative or classic rock, and he even likes when I turn country on every now and then, and hip hop. All right, now let's put this row on top of that row. Yep. Trying to keep it all in order here. Got to get it nice and straight though. I think I'll hook these three together, then the next three together, and then the fourth one all on its own. Because they are pretty big. And I'm not pressing anything too, so it's gonna get a little funky. Maybe. Maybe it won't. Because I don't pin either, so everything has to be flat as I can get it while I'm sewing it. When making big quilts like this, it's nice to have a nice big table for it to lay on. Another positive is having the extension table on the sewing machine because it helps keep it flat. It's really hard when the extension table is not there because everything starts hanging and something is down. I'm all talking about this thing and one of the legs or something is. The little thingy. I know it. It's the under thing, the shelf liner. It's all messed up under there. Because it just fell again. She'd biting your ankles. He's like, I want in the chair. Move. Move it or lose it, Buster, is what he's telling you. Such a weird kitty. finger press this super long seam.
You're saying Thumper looks good for 14.
Yep, he does.
Because I told him he's got his birthday coming.
Yep.
I told him I said he'll be 14.
He's 14 this year in July.
He looks good.
Yes, I just threw the thread on the floor.
Well, I vacuum for
He
you.
vacuums for me. Most of it just lands on this plastic thing and it's easy to clean up. I didn't realize there was so much light blue right here. Probably should have paid attention to that when I was laying it out. All right, I'm going to lay this up over here and put some kind of weight on it and hope that it stays. All right, that was to the right. So the next row will go to the left. Hello there, kitty. What you sniffing about? Are you mad because Mama moved some of her stuff over there? And it didn't hold.
You need me to pick that up for you?
Yeah,
Where am I putting it?
just put it over here on the floor, actually. That way I could just grab it when I'm ready to attach to it.
Put me and Thumper to work. We will get
Oh,
it done.
did you hit the camera? Yep.
Hit whatever that is.
Yeah, that was trying to hold it. I thought it was heavy enough.
That's what I hit. I didn't hit the camera. I hit that. Where would you like it now?
Just right here on the floor. Next to me. Hey, Thumper, we got puppy dogs in this fabric. He's like, I don't care. I don't even know what a puppy is. Actually, he does,
He
but
does. He saw Mom and John's dog.
yeah, and he's seen Sobe through the window, Damon and Gabby's dog.
Who cares about that? But he saw Kai's dog.
Oh, and Kai's dog, yeah.
And he
Oh,
was a
and
dog.
when we brought home that,
he met Bobo, and he met.
when we brought home that one dog, what was it called? I'm trying to see past German. It wasn't a German Shepherd. It was a tall boxer. We got a boxer, remember, from the house over at the end of Pima? From Pima, we went and brought home a boxer and the next day we had to call the lady because Thumper was trying to eat him.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we tried to adopt a dog. That was a long time ago.
We had a dog that we got from Justin that died.
No, not Storm. No, it was an adult boxer.
Oh, that dog wasn't trying to. That dog was terrible. Yeah.
Thumper was trying to eat him.
Yes, we had to take that dog back.
Yeah, that dog went back.
That dog was trying to eat Thumper.
No,
Thumper was trying to eat him. That dog was disaster.
Yep. Remember, because we tried to round it up in the backyard before we brought it home. Thought, oh, it'll be fine. The kids were so excited.
Yeah, we had that thing for not even a day.
Yeah, it was like a trial. So he met a mean dog. So far, the new needle seems to be helping. Oh, it looked like it was wrapped around there. Got some kitty cats on this next one. Puppy dogs and kitty cats in this quilt. Honestly, doesn't matter which way the seam goes as long as the tips are going left or right. Because this one doesn't seem to want to be folding under to press. That's where the iron comes in handy, you know, because it puts it the way you want it better with heat. All right, that row is done. Next. Oh, yep, here's some more Reedham and Weep fabric, but you only see the REA and the AND on both of them, except this is a bigger piece. All right, this gets pressed to the right. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's nothing to talk about at this very moment. Oh, that's just a loose string. Okay. Reach for this one.
We're still all talking about cats. If you're bored, why don't you tell them the story of Thumper? How you found it?
The story of Thumper. Well, it all started 14 years ago. almost 14 years ago, I used to clean houses on the side to make extra cash when I had time between jobs. So I was cleaning a house, and it was a hoarder house, okay? And the hoarder took most of everything, but a lot of stuff surprisingly was left behind, and they left it a disaster. Horrible, horrible, horrible disaster. Anyway, so I'm cleaning and I'm cleaning and I'm cleaning, but I kept hearing this sound, like that sound right there. But it was so faint. I was like, what in the world? My turn, I would vacuum or something, or I'd be sweeping. Like, what the heck is that sound? So I'm searching, and I finally make my way to the kitchen, and I keep hearing it. But it was getting louder. It's like, okay, this is coming from the kitchen. I'm turning the faucet off and on, and I'm opening and closing the fridge to see if it's, and it wasn't that. Then I heard it again, and I was like, oh, it's down at the cupboard. So I'm opening all these bottom cupboards. I'm still hearing this sound, but I'm not seeing anything. Well, lo and behold, the kick plate under cupboards. There was Thumper under the kick plate, under these cupboards. So obviously I pulled the kick plate off because it must have went in through the cabinet. One of the cabinets must have had a hole, but I didn't pull everything out of them yet. So I'm thinking it probably got in through a hole and then, went and just got itself stuck. Find Thumper after pulling the kick plate off, and I'm like, oh, he's so adorable. This little, he fit in the palm of my hand. He literally was probably, I don't even think he was like 3 days old. He was just the tiniest little thing. His eyes weren't even open. He was just this small little baby kitten. I was like,
fed him from a bottle, right?
Yeah. So he was so small that I looked up online because I decided to keep him, take him home with me. And I looked up online, what kind of bottle, what kind of this, what kind of that. At first, I couldn't get to Walmart right away to go get the formula. So I used baby formula because I babysat kids too. So I had baby formula in my house. So I give the cat baby formula until I can get to Walmart in the morning because it was already like 6 at night, So I went to Walmart in the morning, got the kitty cat formula and a kitty cat bottle feeding bottle because I used a baby bottle and baby formula. And don't worry, I threw the bottle away that I used to feed the cat with. So then the kids fell in love with this little, but I was like, don't touch him as much, because he is so little, he's just not used to it yet. And we don't want him puking up his food or anything like that because he is, So finally, the kids fall in love with him. He starts getting bigger after being bottle fed. Who knew you had to feed a cat every 2 hours like a newborn baby? Because, seriously, I was up, down, up, down, up, down. So he got pretty big. By the time he was almost a year old, he met Scott, but he didn't want a boy in my life.
He was 6 months old when he met me.
Oh, no, he was 6 months old when he met Scott. He didn't want a boy in my life. He said he was the only cat that was allowed to be the boy in my life other than my sons. So he used to come in, jump on my bed, and pee on Scott.
On my feet.
On his feet. Because he didn't want Scott around at first. Now, 14 years later, he can't get enough of following Scott around, waking up in the middle of the night and doing everything he can to annoy him. But yeah, we raised him. I raised him from a kitten that was the size of the palm of my hand, and now I can barely pick him up. But he is 15 pounds now. He lost some weight, which is good because he's been more active. Surprisingly, he gets active in the summertime when he's shaved, but this summer, no shave, but still active, which is kind of surprisingly good. So that's a plus. So I raised him from being a little kitten found in a home.
It's not insane hot summer yet.
Oh, and at first, Thumper's name was a difficult decision with all the kids. Like so much. He was this little tiny thing, and when he finally opened his eyes, it was like the 8th or 9th day. His eyes were blue. And they wanted to name him Blue Moon. Blue Moon. Mom, Blue Moon. His name is Blue Moon. I don't like Blue Moon. Then he started to get around when it instead of, once he started walking, once he was getting older and he started to get around, he hopped like a bunny. And that's where Thumper came in. I was like, no way, no Blue Moon. His name is Thumper. And that stuck. So That's how his name became, because he hops around like a bunny, and still does when he's, you know, in an active mode and you chase him up and down the hallway. When he runs behind you, he doesn't run with all four paws like most cats. His hind legs thump, 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 and he slides a lot on the floor because he runs like that. It's hilarious. Or he trots like a horse, which is even weirder, but he does. So that's how he got his name, because he thumps. He was a thumper from the beginning.
Oh, he's Thumper from Bambi.
Yep, Thumper from Bambi. He's been a good cat since, though. Took about, I don't know, a month of Scott coming around in the beginning, though, for Thumper to like him. Because he didn't want to have anything to do with him.
Now he's Daddy's boy.
Yep, now he's Daddy's boy. But he comes to me if he wants to play, like actual playing with toys and stuff. He comes to Daddy to fight, and he comes to Mama to play toys.
He knows he's allowed to bite Daddy. He can't
Yeah.
bite Mama.
He's not allowed to bite. He's not allowed to bite Mama. Although he has, let me tell you, with one snaggle tooth, his one sharp canine left. It's sharp. It's like he purposely sharpens it somehow, because that thing is like a razor. It barely nicks you, and it literally will cut you open and make you bleed. So he's not allowed to bite me. All right. Oh yeah, pressing them all down, and then we'll make the last row and put it on there, and then figure out how I'm going to iron this beast. Well, I know how, with an iron. I just need to not crinkle it up too much on the ironing board.
Really? You're going to use an iron to iron it?
Yep,
No
I'm going to use an iron to iron it.
No way. I thought we were going to throw a Thumper up there and roll
And I'm not going to
it.
press. I'm going to actually iron. I'm literally going to go around and around and up and down, you know, because pressing doesn't work at this point. Once you make the whole thing, pressing is non-essential. It's become ironing. Although in my world, it's always ironing. I never really press unless it's applique. I put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. That's the only time I actually press. But you do you when you're making your stuff. I don't know. I find it the same either way. As long as you're going for a flat block, then it makes no difference how you iron or press, you know? And if you go to the what is the word for it? The cleaners, where I used to work, ironing would be the all over. Pressing is not done with an iron. Pressing is done with a machine. And then it steams, bring it up. So technically, an iron is to iron.
Tiffany's had a random amount of jobs. Huh?
Yeah, I've worked some random jobs over my time.
Do you want me to move the trash can closer?
No, you can just leave it right there. It's fine.
Okay.
I got a lot of threads sticking out of the seams, which will be your job when I finally do quilt it.
All right. What's the tool you're using?
This is a finger press, but it's a wood finger press. So it's your finger without ruining your finger. And because I have MS and nerve issues, and I just realized this fabric has kitty cats in the flowers. Did you see this? Look at this. You can't see them unless you're looking. But it's a little finger press. So you could use this instead of ruining your fingernails, which I still ruin my fingernail, as opposed to ruining your fingernail. So this thing. You see this? It has cats. I've never noticed that. I've seen this scrap fabric like 500 times.
That is
It is not a flower. It's cat heads.
In the flowers.
In the flowers.
That is so cute.
You know, you have to look at fabric like 500 times before you realize what's actually on it. My goodness. All right, one more row, which the whole entire row is over here on the ironing board.
You know what order they go in, right?
Yes, I know what order. It's this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So I'm just gonna restack them to make this easier for myself. We even got some Batman and some John Deere in here. All right, this one. And then, oh, they're two bicycle fabrics, so they're not near each other. See, I told you, if I didn't remember, you know, I'm pretty good at trying to, but when I'm like trying to do things on camera, then I forget. All right, that row was to the right, so this row will go to the left. Oh, there's that butterfly print in another spot too. My goodness, now I'm seeing all the accidental repeats. That's okay, there's still hundreds of pieces of fabric in here.
Notice it when you look at it all.
Yeah.
It looks great. Doing anything next week for Memorial?
Are you guys doing anything next week for Memorial Weekend? You know what Scott and I will do? Nothing. We'll probably watch movies. I'll sew until I can't
Sometimes we go
sew.
out and visit Mr. McCluskey.
Yep, sometimes we go out and go to the cemetery. My grandma's there. He was like an adopted dad to Scott, Mr. McCluskey.
Depends on what the weather's like.
Yeah, it depends on the weather.
It's 8 million degrees. We might not go out there.
We don't have barbecues. We don't have a barbecue anymore. We gave it to our son, which in turn, like a year later of him having it and always coming over, oh, I just barbecued this, or oh, I just barbecued. And then one day he comes over and tells us that the wind took the barbecue and smashed it all into pieces because we get heavy winds here. I'm like, really? But it was an aluminum barbecue, so I could see the wind taking it and making it fly.
It gets insanely windy.
Yeah, it's windy outside right now. It keeps ripping. We have what are they called on the windows? They're not like privacy screens, they're solar screens, so it prevents so much sun from coming in the house. So it keeps our house a lot darker. So we have those on all of our windows, but in the kitchen and living room, because the kitchen gets so hot, we also have another blocks 98% of solar rays like hangy thing. It looks like something you'd find at a camp out in the Marines or Navy out where they're camping or something and getting ready and they have all those things hanging. It kind of looks like those. And yeah, we have it tied around the cylinders, but it keeps breaking constantly because the wind keeps taking it and snaps it right apart. So the thing is covered in holes.
It still does its job.
Though. It blocks the sun because you can literally, when it's 110 degrees outside, you can go from right there in the sunshine at 110, you walk under our patio and it's lost 10 degrees. So it'd be 100, which it doesn't feel like much of a difference, but when you're in 110 versus 100, it's great. So it really helps the UV and heat from settling on the porch. And it keeps it darker. But yeah, that thing, it's windy today, and we tied it, what was it, this morning or yesterday afternoon? It was yesterday afternoon. We tied it yesterday afternoon, and the wind already broke it again today. So whatever, it's just going to have to stay the way it is. If the wind is going to keep, it's supposed to be windy the next 3 days, so might as well just leave it, right? As long as it doesn't, like, rip completely off the house. That wouldn't be good. Does make flapping noises too in the wind. Yeah, kind of gets annoying because you can hear it through the doors and windows. It's like this slapping sound that it makes from the part where the holes are that you clamp it to, and it just rubs on the wall. All right, let's get this sewn and then put the 2 halves together, and then we'll press it, iron it, scribble on it. I don't care as long as it gets done. All right, here we go. I usually just hold the seams as if my fingers were pins all the way up to it and let the needle go down into the seam. Sometimes, depending on the project, I can continuously sew, but projects like this where I'm constantly adjusting and stuff, I can't continually sew. If I put a border on it, I could, though. But I'm not going to do that because it's already huge. I was thinking of taking some more 2.5 by 6.5s and putting them along both sides to widen it a little bit. Because 96 is long enough, especially for a queen. But 80, if you have like a 14-inch thick mattress like we do, 80 is kind of doesn't hang all over both sides and cover the mattress. All right, let me press this and then I'll grab the top section and put it all together. Can you, I'll tell you in about 5 minutes. Okay. For the iron to be plugged in. Yeah, I will wait 5 minutes. I'll tell you when I get close to the bottom. Yeah, but that's okay because we could work on my project that I started right there. Yeah, I told you you'd be done too quick. You did all those blocks this week. I told you you should have saved to do a few more online. You said, no, take your time.
It doesn't take you no time at all.
That's because I'm fast. I always think it's going to take forever, but it really doesn't.
Not to sew those
A lot of
cloths
people
together.
here have asked over the years in the comments section, how do you get it done so fast? Well, technically, it's not because I speed sew or anything. I just continuously work on something until it's done. I mean, I take breaks throughout the day, but most times I can do projects in one day because I just continuously work at it. So that's how I get it done so fast. It's not because I sew fast all the time either. Like, this isn't sewing fast at all for me. All right, this is the bottom section, so we're going to turn it this direction. We're going to find the dog on this. It's somewhere on here. There it is.
I'm gonna plug that in there.
As soon as I finish the seam, yes.
Oh,
But when I get close, when I get halfway, I'll have you plug it in.
you have a whole nother one. Sorry.
All right.
Where'd you get your pressing tool?
My pressing tool I got from T over at Quilts.
I'll put a link.
It goes to her channel, but if you go to her shop, www.tquilts.com, under accessories or notions, I think is the thing, then you can find it that way. All right. Time for the really long seam. Well, it's not really long. It's the same length as the rest of them. This is just the part that makes it super heavy. And this is just the seams part. It's just all seams and fabric right now. Wait until it's quilted. Then it'll be even more heavier. Can't get that to straighten. There we go. Need to find that under one so that I could yank it. Come on. There we go. Oh, out of bobbin. Sawyer Creek. Artist. So yeah, it's not one of our sites. These wood things can be found at Sawyer Creek, though. I don't think they sell online, though. You just got to wait till they're at shows. I don't know who sells it directly online.
Yeah, Karen said that T's site isn't working. There's no notions listed.
Oh.
Oh, she said she's got it. She said Gypsy Quilter has it.
Gypsy Quilter has them. Well, look at that. I'm not one of their affiliates either, though. But I'm not of all these places, a lot of places, so if the Gypsy Quilter has them, though, maybe they have them on, like, one of my things, because Fat Quarter Shop sells a lot of the Gypsy Quilter stuff. Sorry, guys. I have, like, 500 mounds of dust in here. So I might as well sweep it out while we're right here on live so that you can see this big chunk of
Is it just called a pressing tool? I will look now.
finger pressing tool. See this big, huge pile?
Holy cow.
Yeah, see, I'm really lazy about cleaning my machine out, and I know I should do it with every bobbin change, but do I? No. And you want to know the brush I use if you're curious? This brush, you know those hair caps for bleaching your own hair where you put the hair cap on and use the little tiny, what is the word for it? Crochet hook. You grab the hair out. Well, that's what's on the end of this. And this is for applying the bleach. This was one of those, I never used the brush. So I had the brush in all my junk, and this was what I used to get the stuff out of my machine. And you know what? It comes in handy. So it's not for hair, bleaching hair anymore. It's for cleaning out my sewing machine because it's the smallest little brush I was able to find other than using makeup brushes. And I just closed that whole area without putting the bobbin in the case because I was talking. You know how that is.
That quarter shop has 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, that quarter shop has them. Yep, there you go.
They don't look as cool though.
They don't look as cool. All right, you can plug it in now. So because this quilt has so many seams all the way around it, I am going to do a stay stitch or just a stitch all the way around. I just call them stay stitches. Now, when you send me something to Long Arm Quilt, this is in anybody you send something that has a lot of seams along the edges. It's best if you do a stay stitch or a victory lap all the way around the whole entire quilt. It doesn't have to be a tight stitch length or anything, but I'm going to do it on here because it's probably going to be a while before I get this on the long arm to quilt it. So to keep it from falling apart while it's just hanging there from the weight in the closet, I'm going to stitch all the way around it. And then I'll take it over and press it. And at this point, I'm not even going to press that seam. I'm just going to open this up and start. And I'm just going to change my stitch length. I'm doing this about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I'm just going to change it to about 3.5. I'm going to go around the whole entire thing. And then when I take it over to press, with all this tugging and pulling, it won't fall apart on me. So anything that doesn't have a border around it, this is the best way to hold the edges. And if you've never seen me do it on camera, it's because I do it off camera before I hang it up. Sometimes I get it on camera though. Which would be today. Because these seams right here are already starting to pop open. And we want them to stay closed. It doesn't open as much though because I do use a 2.0 stitch length, which I highly, highly recommend using a 2.0 stitch length on all of your projects. All right, next edge. Yep, I'm on edge 2. Sometimes it ends up a 1/4 inch in. That's okay, because the binding will cover it. Plus, some of it might get trimmed off anyway when I'm straightening the quilt. It all depends. I have no star points at any edge, so that's good. So whatever you want to call this, stay stitch, victory lap, whatever. This is the best way, especially if you're a beginner and didn't know this. This is the best way to keep your quilt from falling apart at the seams. Because you get so excited and you want to show everybody in your family, look, I made this. And then you still have to quilt it, but you still are holding it up constantly. You take it to show and tell at your quilt guild, all those things. You're holding it up and holding it up. That puts a lot of stress on your seams. So you just want to make sure it stays together. And your long armor will thank you. because I just glue them, you know. That's all I do when your seams are falling apart, unless I catch it before putting it on the long arm. Then you get charged for me to fix your quilts. So, because that's a lot of extra work. Huh? Oh, Marilyn. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Very, very much appreciated. And if anyone of you else, I don't say this, you know, because I don't really am not in it for the money, but if you feel you must donate, other than YouTube, if you don't want to use YouTube, whatever, you just type in explanation bacon and a thing will pop up with a link that says buy me bacon or buy Scott a protein shake. And it takes you to links to donate. Huh? And it came out again, and this time it tangled. Wow. That's so weird. What is happening today? I changed the needle. Oh, well, it just doesn't like me today, but that's okay. All right, let's go over the ironing board and get this situated. You can twist it so they can see what I'm doing here.
Okay.
The awesome part about owning a giant ironing board is when I have a giant quilt like this, what I do is find an end, like this. I am going to take the whole entire quilt top and throw it back there. Let it fall. Let it fall back there. Line it up right here at the edge. And this is how I press giant quilts. Having a giant ironing board is like so amazing. And then just iron. And yes, you know, y'all know how to iron, but did you know that it's easier on a giant ironing board? And I have a video of how I made this thing. You just get your husband to take your ironing board and upgrade it, because this is a regular ironing board with a nice piece of wood right on top, covered with, well, right now it's covered with batting. It's covered with, what is it called? Foam. Bag foam, to be exact. So it's nice and squishy. And then I homemade my cover that it can come off and be washed, this whole thing. It's on elastic. I have all sorts of different battings in here and foam, which is actually glued to the old top that was not removable. All right, once I do one side, I just slide it over. This is where the tugging and pulling comes in. And that's why you want to stay stitch. And then I just continue on. Like I said, I'm ironing, not pressing, because pressing would take forever. As long as it's flat, that's all that matters. You just want a flat quilt. And if you have a steam iron, that's probably even better at this point. Super steam this whole thing. This is a steam iron, but this ain't my good one. That's out of the long arm right now. The new iron.
New workhorse, that's trying to roll.
Yep.
The ancient one from the neighbor.
Yep.
The worker.
Straighten it out to the next position. And iron some more. Who says you don't get cardio throughout the day? Whoever says quilters are lazy or crazy, because I think I get more exercise than my husband. And he goes to the gym. Whoo-wee. Plus the heat. It's like being in a steam room doing crunches. That's what this is. So much exercise. So I literally just pull it till that end is exposed. I have no idea what direction this is laying here. When I'm done pressing, we'll take it to the living room floor so you can see the whole thing in full, because it doesn't fit on the wall. And then we'll get started on what I was working on yesterday, which is just a random project. I'll continue on with that because I was making something with scraps.
If you steam and press, can you stretch some of the blocks on outside edge?
No, it shrivels them back up. It's like adding water. It shrinks it. I'm not stretching anything by doing what I do.
How does the board stay attached to the base of the ironing board?
The board is attached with screws that are directly into, he put set in, what is it called when you drill the hole, half hole for a nut and bolt?
Set in.
Like a set in screw, like a nut bolt thing. It's drilled into the plywood, and then on the bottom, this is a graded ironing board, and then it comes out the bottom, and we have nuts and bolts holding it together, or nuts and washers, whatever.
It's bolted on.
It's bolted on. It's not coming off, and this thing goes up and down like a regular ironing board still. It still works the same. If we would have used 1/2-inch plywood, it'd probably be a lot heavier than it is. Did I already do the other side? I don't remember. Let's just do it anyway.
Do you like to quilt heavily starched quilt tops?
I'll quilt heavily starched quilt tops. No big deal. It's just the same. Nothing wrong with it. The only thing I've realized that my machine does not like, my long arm, actually, is batik quilt backs. I don't know why, but the tension always goes crazy when I get to a batik quilt back. Oh, it was on the edge anyway.
We're taking it out there now?
Yep, in 2 seconds you can go turn all the lights on for me.
Yes, we'll do that. Yeah,
The only floor in my house that we could lay a whole entire quilt on. But that's because in front of the long arm there's lots of space. All right, and before I do anything, I'm going to push the ironing board back against the wall again.
You ready?
In 2 seconds, I'm going to show them underneath the ironing board just in case they're curious.
How are you going to do that?
By taking the camera off of down. Here we go. We're going to look under the ironing board real quick so that you guys can see how it's attached there. See if I can see it through the screen. So see, it's a graded ironing board. It's plywood. There's a video. And then it's got a washer and nuts and bolts all the way around it. And then the screws are set in, or the bolts are set in on the top. Your husbands will know how to do it. And it works just like a regular ironing board. All right. Here, you take this. Oh, never mind. I'll just take it all. Well, let's take this quilt to the other room. I'll just make you stare at it for a second. That way you don't get dizzy.
Just give me the camera. We don't want you to.
I'm making them not get dizzy.
I'm going to make them not get dizzy by showing them pumper.
Oh. Oops, move cat toy. He has 2 bean bags. He's in one of them right now. That's where he likes to hang out. Wow, this thing is big. It's definitely 80 by 96-ish, somewhere in that range. I will measure it right now. Nice and flat, you see that? It's a nice flat rectangular quilt. $96. Look at that. Oh, okay. And yes, I walk on quilts. My feet are clean. But we all walk on quilts. Nobody knows. And 80, exactly like I said, 80 by 96. Look at that. Let's see if it's equal in 3 spots. I'm curious. Let's see how good I really am here. 96, exactly again. How weird is that? I don't need to do the other one. 96 exactly. This quilt came out very, very, very square. No, I'm not going to do that. I figure if this way is correct, the other way is too. All right, let's take a look at all the fabrics in here.
Oh, you're going to take it down?
Yep. Oh, he's upside down, the dog, right now. Technically, this is the top. It doesn't really matter. It's not a directional quilt. These are all the lovely fabrics that are in here. Got some puffins right there. They're upside down. Got some Paris fabric. We got 2 cardinals in there. Here's the heartbeat he was saying is upside down. We got a cat with no face. They saw the penguins. We got some teddy bears. We got Sheldon over here. He's missing half of his face, though. We even got Tigger and Halloween all in the same block. Oh, we got a little dolly.
You got Batman.
Oh, we got Batman.
And John Deere.
And John Deere in the same block.
Right there. That's awesome. Can't beat Batman and John Deere.
There's a little bit of everything. Let's take one more look at Thumper while he cleans that up off the floor. Say hi, Thumper. Say hi, kitty kitty. Say hi, everybody. No? What are you staring at? You're weird. All right. Let's go back to the room. Yep. And here we are. Back to the room where I am working on another project since we have plenty of time to spare. I'm not even going to fold that quilt top. Just going to grab my other project. So remember the quilt, the Windy Garden pattern? I don't remember what series we did that in. But I was messing with the scraps and making, can they see right here?
I don't know yet because
Oh, let me just put them on the wall.
Okay, then I stood up the camera. You're going to move them.
Yep. I'm making blocks that are going to be just randomly, here, I'm going to scatter them throughout. Making 2 different style of blocks. Put that there, put this here. Making stars and squares. And all sorts of whatever. This is probably not going to be the layout, but, you know, just putting it up here for now. Why? Because I can. Put that one there. But this is what I do in my spare time. I just make things, and I have fun doing it. Meh. Put that one there. That one there. This is definitely not going to be the layout.
Is it really important that the stitch length is 2.0? Wouldn't 2.5 be okay?
Is it really important that the stitch length is 2.0? Will 2.5 be okay? Well, not really. So I've seen a lot when it comes to being a long armor because I have quilted for a lot of people. And I've noticed the bigger stitch lengths are the ones that fall apart the most. And I've noticed I always use a 2.0 on my machine and I don't have any seams that fall apart at all. There are some that I've not stitched because I thought, you know, I didn't realize I ran out of bobbin and they were unstitched. You can see where it runs out and the thread's just hanging there. And then I go to press it and not realize anything. But the bigger the seam, the more chances of it falling apart. And we don't want that. We don't want your quilts falling apart. You gotta keep, you made all that effort to make the quilt. Why not make it, you know, not fall apart? So I suggest a 2.0 stitch length. All right, there's just an idea of what I'm making. I have all the parts and pieces, and I still have some scraps in here, as you can see. Not a lot though, but I did cut more down to make more of this block, this square and a square. But they're not going to have the white as the background. They're going to have color instead. So there's a lot here, and I'm just going to run these through. So I'm going to put one of these on each side and not do that stitch length because I was doing that stay stitch. We need two ends. We don't want that color. I got to mix and match these colors, so I got to make sure I'm not putting the same color on the ends. Oops, that goes in that pile. Let's put this light purple on these. Keep that with that. Do the next one. Let's do this one with these. So it'll be fun, just a little scrappy leftovers. Quilt. Always loved doing that. And there was so much leftovers from that Lindy Garden pattern because it was a kit. I was like, really? There's a lot here. So I chopped it all down and to usable pieces. Let's put one of these on here. So they're 4.5 inch squares, by the way. This is a 4.5 inch square, 2.5 inch to make the flying geese on each end of a 4.5 by 2.5, and then 2.5s in the corner. And then the square and a square is a 4.5 in the middle, 2.5 by 4.5 on 4 sides, and then the 4 corners are 2.5 by 2.5. It's very simple. Very, very simple. I've done stuff like this plenty of times. Just in case you're curious, just look for Sawtooth Star videos or Square and a Square videos. Because I've had tons of them. I do enjoy chain piecing, so that's what I'm doing now. I want this one to have this blue. Oops. And this one have this light green. Let's see, light green can have this dark. Let's re-coordinate these real quick. Put that on there. Purple on there. That on there. That.
That cat
This.
fabric, the cat and the flowers,
And this.
amazing in this. You know?
Yeah.
If you had any?
Yeah, there's, I don't think there's more. It was just in the scraps. This is the stuff I do off screen though, usually. Just trying to clean up because I have so many piles of projects. But this one was in the way over there, so, you know, I had to clean all this up and start something new. It's not going to be a very big project. It's still cute though. I was also thinking about sashing the whole thing because I do have one of the prints and I think it would look cool to have sashing because there is pretty much enough of it, I'm thinking, to do like 1.5 inch. But I also kind of just like the mess of it, you know? What?
Size stick.
For paper piecing, I use about a 1.5. Sometimes it, see on here on the Juki, there's just a dial and there's big numbers. There's no little dashes in between, so you have to guess. The halfway point between 1 and 2 is 1.5. So if I slightly go towards the 1 more, then I have a really tight stitch length for paper piecing. But if I'm using phone book paper, which is kind of like the paper piecing paper in a way, 1.5 to 1.8 is okay. If you're using like actual paper from printer paper, I would say under 1.5, 1.5 or less, because that stuff is hard to rip. I don't paper piece very often, but when I do, you know.
We use phone book paper.
Yeah, I use phone book paper most times. And that's just for, not for actual projects like Sculliver, you know. It was just to do, I mean, like the exploded quilt and things like that. I don't know how many blocks I'm going to have in total either here. I didn't even count that far because I might have to dig through the scraps and make more or less. I don't know. I honestly did not count. Which is common for me making projects from leftovers and scraps, is me not counting. I tend to do that often. I'm like, I'll just make it up as I go. If I have to remove something, oh well. I'm really getting tired of sitting here. Whew. But I have to stay seated because now I put this whole entire pile on my lap so it doesn't tug and pull. And then I go backwards with my whole stack right here so that everything is chain pieced together. Oh, and I lost my thread there. That was a normal thread loss, not the thread break, which is normal for being on live stream. All right, here I go backwards now. I'm literally hooking the other side to one. So I started by hooking one side of everything, and now I'm hooking the other side, but the pile is next to me, so it's backwards. As I go up, it goes from the bottom back up. So every color will match like it's supposed to on the correct pieces. Make them all at the same time. I don't know why I enjoy doing it this way. I don't like making blocks one at a time, and when I have to, it's hard. my brain is like fried by making 2 blocks. This way it doesn't get fried because I'm making all of them at the same time. If you guys have any questions, ask away. I'm here to answer whatever I can in my best ability or my opinion. How about that? I've gotten a lot of rude comments in the past about my opinion here, you know. But it's my opinion. On what not to do and what to do. I haven't been quilting like for 55 years or anything, you know? Or since I was a teenager or kid or whatever. But I have learned a lot in my small time. In my like, let's see, end of 2015, 25 would have been 10 years. So this year is my 11th year of quilting. So I know a lot of stuff.
Have you watched any new TV or movies?
Watched any new TV or movies? I actually finished watching, I was watching Wildfire. If you guys want something that's just kind of almost really boring, it's on Netflix, but it's not that boring. It's older. So it's not like the best of anything. I just finished watching that. It was okay, but I haven't actually sat, I've been working in my fabric room instead. I actually haven't sat and like flipped through and found a new TV show to watch because I have watched every TV show I could possibly watch on Netflix.
Well,
that I want to watch.
Everyone
I haven't watched everyone on there, but the ones that I want to watch.
TV shows.
So here's my deal. I don't like watching TV shows on Netflix or Hulu or Disney or any of that if they have like one season. What's the point? Then you have to wait a whole nother year to watch it again. And you got to start over because you forgot the previous year. I choose to watch, if there's more than 6 seasons, I will watch it. That way I can continuously watch, and by the time I get to that 6th season, if they're still making it, then the 7th season I'll be ready for, because in that year I'll have finished all the episodes. You get where I'm going? And then I'll have remembered. The only show that I don't rewatch the whole show anymore is Grey's Anatomy, because they're on like 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
22.
I'm not going to rewatch the whole thing because I did it like for the first, I don't know, 12, 13 seasons or so. I watched all of it every single time a new season came out. I'd rewatch all of it from the beginning. I've seen it so many times now. And then when it got to the COVID episodes, I stopped rewatching it over again because there's no sense in doing that. So I just, you know, now I just watch each season as it comes out. I might watch the last episode from the previous season, but that's as far as it goes now. But other shows, that's why I don't like if it only has one season, because then in a year I have to watch the whole thing and the new one. And then in another year I'll have to watch the whole thing and 2 more. You know what I mean? I don't like to do that. So if it has 6 seasons or more, I'll watch it. If you guys want to know what I like doctory TV shows. But it's not all of them. There are some that are really dumb, really dumb. For me at least. But I like doctory shows. I like stuff like, if you guys have watched Outlander, I like that. A whole entire love story, but with war and death and fate brought me together, you know, type things. I like that. I also like stuff like Gilmore Girls. Have you guys watched the Gilmore Girls? I don't know why, but that show is catchy. Let's see, what else is the kind of stuff. I watched...
Yeah, we just watched that movie last night where they were talking about
Yeah, we watched a movie last night where they were talking about Gilmore Girls through half the movie. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Who was Rory going to end up with? Let's see.
Okay, here's a question about applique. Can you applique a new piece of fabric on top of another piece of fabric that's part of an applique block?
Can you applique a new piece of fabric on top of an old piece of fabric that's part of an applique block? Yeah, you can. I've seen applique blocks. Let me sew while doing this because I'm almost done here. I've seen applique blocks on watching other people's videos that do applique all the time. And they had one piece that goes for this, which overlapped another piece that went for that. And then that piece overlapped another piece that went for that. By the time it was done, it was like 12 layers of fabric. And I'm like, really? They're going to stitch through all of that? And they do. So yeah, you can put an applique over an applique. Just watch it for, like say that other one's a dark one and you're trying to put a light fabric on top of it, it might be kind of see-through. So you might want to be cautious on that. But yeah, I say yes. I mean, I remember when I did the gnomes, there was a lot of pieces laying on top of all those pieces. So, and I stitched through all of them just fine. Yeah, the gnome projects. I did a wall hanging and a table runner of the gnomes. I should get to that book again because it's got a bunch of cute stuff in it. What did I do with that book, honestly? I don't even know what it is. Probably over on the bookshelf.
Obviously, it didn't run off.
Yeah, it didn't run off.
She's doing dark over light.
Dark over light. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you can layer as many pieces as you think your machine can sew through. See, all my pieces are together the way I sewed it all. And that way all I have to do is finger press, or I can just take it all over to the ironing board and sew it. Sew them all together. Or I can just flip the seam the way I know I want it to go and press it all later. I've done that before plenty of times. How many blocks are here? My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9. 10. 11. Oh, 12 total. 12. Oops, nope, that goes on that pile. And we'll leave this up here with me so that I can press and sew. Pressing out towards. So here's a top and a bottom. They look exactly the same. And then this will get pressed towards in. And this is the center. So this is how you make a, I don't know the name of this. I just call them square and squares. Anything that has something that goes around the square, it's just a square and a square in my book. There's probably a name for it. For the life of me, I can't think of it. My seams are in opposite directions just by sort of finger pressing. Yeah, it's just, it's a squared square. It's pi.
Pi r squared.
And my little finger pressing tool is literally right here, so I could just finger press it properly. Oh, here's another block. This time though, instead of it being white, so I was going to try to get these in between. Hopefully there's enough to go stay in between to break up some of that color, but I don't know how many. Yeah, I don't know how many I would have needed. And I don't have much fabric left. I mean, I do. There's plenty, just not these sizes, the 4.5 inch. I can probably cut it all up into 2.5 inch squares, maybe. A lot of blocks that I can make from memory. I don't need a book to make any of this stuff. That's why I don't remember the names of things. Because some book will call it one thing and another book will call it something entirely different. So I just do by what my head knows how to do and how to get measurements and stuff. You know? Which makes sense in my brain. All makes sense in my brain. So like I said, this could just be something that goes between here and here. You know, to break it up. Hopefully I have enough if I need to fill in the whole thing, because I don't know how many blocks I have at this point. I know I ran out enough of them to make more sawtooth stars. See, I think it'll add to it having that pop of color here and there.
Looks good. I like that each one's a little different.
Yep.
Some have triangles, some are all squares, some have some rectangles.
Yep, I just like random.
X's and O's.
It's all the same though. So this is what you would call a, oh my goodness, now the word has failed me in my brain. I'm gonna think. Controlled Scrappy. Reason why I say this is called controlled Scrappy is because there is no other kinds of fabric in here. This is only one fabric line mixed together. Even though it's together in a scrappy way, it's still controlled fabric. The line all goes together. Everything matches. It's how it goes. So it's controlled Scrappy, but it still makes me happy.
It's like X's and O's. We can play tic-tac-toe with it.
Yeah. See, there I go, starting off, going too quick. Losing the, oh no, it's tangled right there.
The square and the square ones are your O's, and the X ones are the X's.
Oh, you mean the stars are the X's
Yes,
and
the
the
stars
squares
are
are
the
the O's?
And the squares are the O's.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Darn right, we played some tic-tac-toe. That's how I see it.
He sees tic-tac-toe. I see floral mess.
Well, yeah, obviously the pattern is floral on it. I'm just talking.
Oh, there's already one there. Let's put this guy over here. And, oh, there's already one of those over there. Let's put this one right here. Right now, I don't even know where to lay them because, you know. Oh, duh. I'm still holding it in my hand. Well, there's enough now to keep going down. My goodness. I like just making things up and having fun. Nobody ever said we had to follow patterns in quilting, you know? Just make up our own stuff and have fun doing it. Let's just put that there for now because, you know, I'm running out of places until I actually go through and lay it out properly. Yeah, I couldn't believe how much extra fabric though in that Windy Garden kit there was. This was a lot.
Those Windy Gardens.
I had enough from most of the prints to get 2.5-inch strips from them. It's like, wow, that's a lot of fabric left over. I'm just going to start putting these randomly now on the sides because I can see it all. Not much time left if you have questions. I am here to answer.
What's the stitch speed on the King Quilter?
The stitch speed on the King Quilter, I don't know. I think it's like 2,100 stitches per minute or something like that. Maybe more. I'm not sure. I don't even know if the website says that sells it. It might say it down in the details or specs or something. Scott put a link for the machine if you want to go and look. I mean, maybe you never know. You might want to buy the King Quilter too while you're there. It's an amazing machine. I'm 100% sure you will love it.
I don't know. They have product videos and they have a chat with this thing, so I'm sure you can find it out.
Oh yeah, there's a product videos and a chat with this thing. I know it's in the 2000s though. I mean, it stitches really fast. If you put it on 100% in manual mode, that thing, whew, it flies.
2,200 stitches.
2,200. See, I was close. I said 21. Yep. It flies, though. You thought me sewing on this thing was fast, on this Juki? Whew, that King Quilter.
And you still go faster than it because it's always.
And I still go faster than the machine. That's right. It always beeps at me constantly. If you ever watched any of my long arm quilting videos, you'll like, wow, this thing just beeps constantly. It's because of me, because I'm going faster than the machine can handle. You know? Oops. When it's on manual mode, though, at 100%, I still can't get a continuous stitch length because I like to move fast. So I just use it in stitch regulated so that I can control the stitch, or the machine can control the stitch, and it beeps at me to tell me to slow down. So that's how I stitch. I just let it tell me to slow down because I could stitch faster than it. But there's no other machine that can move like I move, like in my head, how I see a picture while I'm long arm quilting. Actually, I use one hand, but my brain sees it faster than I'm stitching. So, you know, and I still have really long stitches in manual mode at 100%. So I just, you know, let the machine do it and try to stitch slow, which is good because it gives more better work. More better work? Yeah, that sounds good. We're real here, real life. I don't speak proper English. Because everything is more better in my world.
Mow better.
Mow better.
Get that mow better down.
That's one comment that I love seeing, is that you guys love that. I get it for people who just found me. They comment, Tiffany, you are so real. You are the realest person I've found here on YouTube. It warms my heart so that you guys know that there's no faking it in quilting. We just do what we do and how we do it.
Darn right.
If I'm not real, then who am I? I'm not Tiffany's Quilting Life then. How funny. I love it though. Warms my heart that you guys love watching me. On my bad days, on my good days, on days where I'm just too silly, on days where I don't have no hyperness at all and I'm just like straightforward sewing everything in a monotone kind of manner. I love that you stick around either way. Through all the burps, through all the farts, through all the giggles, you know, just all of it. Although you don't hear any of that because I try not to do it out loud. This is like, of all the hobbies I've ever tried in my whole entire life, this one is the best. Well, actually, it's close to motorcycle riding, but I can't ride motorcycles anymore, so I guess this is better. Yeah, this is better. Plus, I get like the biggest reward feeling from making quilts. I don't know what whether someone buys it or it goes to a family member, just knowing that somebody out there loves my creation and they are going to use it to cuddle up or hang on the wall or whatever it is that people do with the stuff that they buy from me. I am just filled with joy that it's, you know, being loved. And that is why I keep going. And when giving in person, that's even better because, you know, the looks on their faces. Of course, when you give any quilt in person, that's how you know if somebody is a quiltable or not. I mean, somebody who's worthy of a quilt. Because in person, you get the ones that open and go, a blanket for my bed? And then you get the ones, oh, oh my God, this is so amazing. You know, the one that said, oh my gosh, you gave me a blanket. Those are the ones you don't give quilts to. I'm sorry. No, you can give them quilts if you want. Just know that that face is going to be the face you see every single time you gift it to them. Oops, what am I doing? That goes this way. I love it. It's just rewarding. And long arm quilting, that's so much fun to me. I just love, even though I don't stand like forever in a day, you know, I stop and start, stop and start. Something about turning the music on and standing at that machine and just doing my thing, I love it. And I'm glad that my clients for long arm quilting that pay for long arm quilting services, that they love for me to love on their quilt, if that makes any sense.
Is this your pattern?
Huh?
Is this your pattern or someone else?
This is just me making something up, yes. My pattern. My pattern of 8.5-inch squares being turned into some randomness conglomeration of stars and squaredy squares. Squaredy squares. Let's put this guy.
Hopefully have a long arm video coming out this week.
Yep, hopefully I'll have a long arm video. Oh, that was supposed to come out. I knew I was missing something to do for Friday.
You had a video on Thursday, and you were supposed to have one Saturday, and you have one.
Oh, yeah, yep, I knew.
You can have that come out Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yep.
because you do have a video coming Saturday now.
Yeah, I didn't put it on there because
You had too much on this week.
I had too much on this week. That's why I forgot to sit at the computer. I knew I forgot to do something this week. You guys would have had a long arm video this week, and I even told the person that it's a long arm quilting of a client quilt. I even told them that the video would be out this week, but no, that's next week now because I totally forgot all about it. It's time, but I'm going to go over a minute because I literally have one more after this. I'm just going to get these pieced. That way all I have to do is iron, see where I'm at, count my blocks, and after I press them all, of course, and then lay it out nicely into something that I can look at. No, I can look at all of them. I love quilts. Although to see where I used to be and where I am now, I'm like, wow, I can do that. Especially with long arm quilting, man. I knew how to long arm quilt, just randomly knew because I was free motion sit down, but the difference of how I did a feather, you know, a bunch of time ago as to how I do a feather now, I'm like, whoa. Big difference. Then I couldn't do pebbles. Pebbles were my enemy. Now I put pebbles on almost every custom quilt that I can. It's like the best filler. Or pebbles with spirals, or pebbles with feathers in it, or just whatever. I love it. Huh?
Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yes, breakfast is at Tiffany's this week. Breakfast is at Tiffany's this week? Yeah, it's this week. We will be here at my place. I don't know what I'm making. I mean, it could be some sausage and pancakes or some bacon and eggs. We'll see what happens. And no, I don't mean real food for anybody that doesn't know about my episodes. That's just what we call them. Because I'm Tiffany, and well, why not? And it all started from a lunchbox that was a gift to me. Which I don't even know where it is anymore. Oh, it's right there. All right, I made a bunch of blocks. And this is what, you know, will turn into a quilt. If I like move all this down here, will that be an equal amount? Oh, it will be. So I know that I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be 5 by 6. I'll turn the orientation of it. Look at that. Yep, that's my little side project. And I still have all the little cutoffs from the flying geese units to make the stars that I'm going to sew together into something as well. I think I'll sew those together with what's left in the box and then just sew all this and use the giant pieces that are left here as a border to finish this off. Instead of putting sashing, I can use all the small pieces to work with all the other stuff. Again, off-camera things, but eventually you'll see it because you'll see it on a mail opening / you know, what did I complete video. All right. That's all I got. We're doing it next Saturday?
Yeah, tell them it's going to be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Just some long arm video, hopefully Tuesday.
Yeah, long arm video, hopefully Tuesday. Thursday is breakfast at Tiffany's, and
Surprise video on Saturday.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a surprise video on Saturday. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for hanging out. This is the kind of stuff I do in my room in my own time, and you know, getting things done. I have so many things to get done. Like, I have a bunch of videos I need to film. I better get to it. I can't keep doing all this stuff if I need to film a video, though, right? Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you for Breakfast at Tiffany's live. And the long arm obviously is an uploaded video. If you guys didn't know that, for some of you who are new to Facebook or to YouTube, there's a tab that's for videos that says videos. That's all stuff that's pre-recorded. And then the live tab is all the stuff that I've done live stream. So some of them pop up and they say, oh, this is a great live, but it wasn't live. It was a filmed video. So just so you know. All right. See ya. Bye. Toodles. Later, Gator. Later. Hasta la vista, baby. Later.